The fuck? Eggsy. Let me find the stream. They've been wasn't a bad day at all. I gotta go out to Green Springs now. Might grab something to eat on the way there. Find weird. Damn. This shit's expensive. Where the fuck do you shop? Why the fuck can't I find the stream? Can't find his Rumble channel. Fucking $8 a gallon? Dude, I don't even pay $4 here. And that's organic. That's fucking nuts, man. It's like 7-Eleven rates there. I found it on locals, but his Rumble, I can't find his Rumble stream. It's so weird.
So this is what has resulted. But why the media won't publish this stuff, and why the media, why the police won't give us any transparency when we're asking.
That would be tough, man, because I go through milk like crazy.
Is why
I drink about a gallon of whole milk about every 4 days.
So that's the manifesto that has come out. He also lashed out at reporters, or maybe it was the
let's just get there now.
police as he was being arrested and
mean, it was weird. I got the notification for it, clicked on it, and it said something went wrong. So then I just went, because I follow him. I can't see his icon in the ones I follow. Like his channel just disappeared. I mean, his username is there, but that's not his channel. Watching the watchers. Well, I found it. I'm sure. Well, I'll just take the turnpike. That way I can. Is there a cop behind me, dude? He's like right on my tail. He's got a.
Now, what has come out? Manhattan DA's office released an arrest warrant for the tech worker connected the dots. I wish they would just publish it for crying out loud. James, Alyssa, and Kareem, what's wrong with you? Publish it.
Got no lights on, as dark as it is.
He checked into a hospital.
He's got a spotlight like he used to be a police car. Weird.
The license was the same when he presented to local police in McDonald's in Altoona. He was arrested after the national ban lifted. Now, Mangione had been detained on a firearms charge in Pennsylvania, now expected to appear in court.
This guy is like on my fucking ass.
That's what we saw. To face 5 criminal counts, including second-degree murder and criminal possession of a weapon. The timing of the transfer depends on how the hearing in Pennsylvania goes.
He like rolled right up to my bumper. He's giving me a little space now.
We see this all the time. If you see something,
I don't even want to turn the camera around until he gets around me. Someone on him. He's getting off right here. Fucking idiot.
But I don't know if the search warrant was from Pennsylvania or from New York. If he chooses to challenge his extradition, that would kick off a process that would require a warrant issued by the governor's office. And we saw a little bit of this when we were covering the Kyle Rittenhouse case, when we were having a debate about whether Kyle Rittenhouse was going to be deposed or transported from state to state. Saying the criminal complaint in New York isn't public yet. They typically remain sealed until he's arraigned, which is
Hello?
and they booed when he got arrested because apparently they want more vigilantes to shoot people in the back like cowards. Specifically, he states how we are the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, and that makes me think that that manifesto is correct, right? Because the manifesto now matches the quotes that they're excerpting from the manifesto. Specifically, he states how we're the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, but we have a 42nd life expectancy in the world. The police said the key to the case was releasing a photograph. They're like, we're so heroic cops because we put a picture on the internet. So we're like amazing, incredible police work. We posted a photo on our X account. Somebody else found him. So we need $1 billion. A McDonald's employee in central Pennsylvania recognized Mangione and called the police. During a search of the backpack, they found a pistol silencer, both produced by 3D printing. The pistol had a magazine with 6 9mm rounds inside. There he is, eating his hash brown. Can't even enjoy a hash brown at McDonald's, right? Without everybody thinking you're an assassin. A judge denied Mangione bail. Prosecutor said he was carrying $8,000 in cash and he had bags for his electronic devices that block electromagnetic.
$8,000 cash?
Which they said showed the level of criminal sophistication. Now, he denied carrying that much cash during his appearance and said he used the bags because they were waterproof. I'm not trying to hide anything. All right, so he's at McDonald's. United Healthcare released some statements. Luigi and his writings now show a little bit more about...
Heading to Green Springs, about an hour away, 45 minutes away, but I'm going to stop to get something to eat.
The CEO shouted, quote, "It's an insult to the intelligence of the American people." 26-year-old was shackled at the waist and ankles. And is that because we have the wrong guy?
His family is. I don't know if he is.
Said that, right? It's not him. Who was arrested in Pennsylvania on Monday. At one point during Tuesday's court appearance, Mangione tried to interject. He wanted to chime in on this, but his attorney, called Thomas Dickey, was attempting to convince the judge to release him on bail, saying, "Your Honor," he was discussing the $8,000 in U.S. cash and $2,000 in foreign currency. Dickey instructed his client, he says, "Don't you say a word. Shut your mouth." The judge ordered Mangione held without bail. The Manhattan DA's office, that's Alvin Bragg, will seek a governor's warrant to try to force his extradition. When Mangione was arrested on Monday, he had written admissions about...
Yeah, I know. They said he had $8,000 on him still. $2,000 in foreign cash. So
Mangione had several handwritten pages on him that expressed...
This seems weird. He seems like mentally ill.
He's frustrated with the healthcare system in the United States.
I'm not even convinced he was the guy.
Mangione writings obtained by ABC News, which again they have not published because they're cowards, addressed to the feds, said,
"It all seems
I
weird.
do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done.
Hey, Claiborne.
These parasites simply had it coming." That's exactly what we saw in Klippenstein's published. He claimed that the U.S. had the most expensive healthcare system in the world, apparently inspired by the Unibar. The report warned that, like Ted Kaczynski, Mangione may become a martyr who inspires a wide range of extremists to act. Mangione appeared to view the targeted killing as a symbolic takedown, according to the NYPD. Whether he had any personal connection to the CEO is unknown. The spokesman said in a statement from United, "Our hope is that today's apprehension will bring relief to the family. They were thrilled that they got this guy in custody." Kenny said, "The key to this case was releasing photos of the suspect's face to the media and the public." Probably give that guy a medal. That picture reached Pennsylvania, where Mangione was recognized as somebody at McDonald's. "We are grateful as a city to that person." We still have a lot of evidence. They're still going to be assessing DNA. He was apprehended with the same ID that he had checking into the hospital, like that, which was fake. Looks very similar to the gun used on the murder. Officers also found a 3D printed pistol with a 3D silencer. Charged with 5 crimes: carrying a gun without a license, forgery, falsely identifying himself to authorities, possessing, quote, instruments of a crime, according to the criminal complaint. That's the Pennsylvania charge. Mangione's family said in a statement they're shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson. We ask people to pray for all involved. This is an image of the ghost gun that allegedly he manufactured and printed that thing, which seems like a lot of work. You can't just go buy one. This is America. The Pennsylvania State Police is asking for the public's help piecing together the trips to Pennsylvania. Police are looking at his travel. Obviously a developing story, so we'll keep our eye on it. Meanwhile, we had Mayor Eric Adams, who said that he talked to the officer who made the arrest. And here's what that sounded like.
Hey Tyler.
I guess we found your guy.
Yes, we as New Yorkers, we appreciate it. And you just did a great job, heads up policing. You took a dangerous person off the street. We thank you so much.
It was great to do. I can't say I was expecting it like that. Freaking weird, man.
Wow. Well, you're gonna be the most popular police officer in your town. When I was a police officer, I would hope to have a day like this when I could take someone this dangerous off the street.
So I just wanted to call and just tell you thank you. New Yorkers appreciate your heads up policing. Doesn't matter besides your patches on.
Or what color your uniform is, we have one job. Let's make sure Americans and New Yorkers are safe.
It's been quite the experience today. Like I said, I'm working on taking that back on the street for you guys.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to you.
Hey, me too. Thank you.
It's Merry Christmas. All right, so anyways, that's what is happening out there, and hash brown is what took him out. So you can can see he's seen eating a hash brown. And how do you identify that guy from that photo? You're like, that's the assassin? Are you kidding me? Some McDonald's person is like a facial recognition expert. They go, that's the guy, clearly? All right. He began shaking when the cops approached him. Here's a photo. People are noticing maybe a little bit of wetness around this area. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. It does look like it's slightly discolored. Don't know what that might be from. Luigi Mangione in a police cell after being charged with the murder of United Healthcare. There's another photo of him. Handcuffed. That's the McDonald's that he was at. Do not believe Trump was working there on that day. There's another scene. He managed to flee 280 miles, led officers across state lines, desperate manhunt, and we'll keep our eye on this story. So our mission is to get our hands on those criminal filings out of Pennsylvania and out of New York. I've not seen them thus far, but we're going to dig them up, and when they are here, we'll go through them and see what specifically is inside. I'm curious about some photos. They've got photos, obviously. The media has copies of these items, but they're not publishing them. And I know they're going to say it's because, well, he hasn't been arraigned yet. Well, he's been processed in Pennsylvania. So these documents should be available. They should be publishing these things. Why they're not always agitates me. Why don't they give us evidence so that we can help them piece together what's actually going on here unless they don't want us to help? I don't want this to turn into another Las Vegas situation where they just serve us the solution, the answers on a silver platter. Fortunately, this guy's not dead, unlike the guy in Las Vegas. So we'll keep our eye on it, my friends. Thanks for subscribing.
2 fugitives, huh?
Now,
let's
turn our attention over to our corrupt DOJ, and then we're going to talk Christopher Wray and Kash Patel, who are both obviously in the news today because Christopher Wray might be resigning tomorrow. We're happy about that. But this is another big...
Yeah, I have... well, they call it Easy Pass here, but
yeah. The Department of Justice allegedly spied on a bunch of companies.
I use the Turnpike all the time.
Kash
It's
Patel, another official.
My company credit card is on my Easy Pass, so...
We're going to dig into this report. It came out from the Office of the Inspector General. It's supposed to be investigating the DOJ, but as we know, they like to investigate themselves and find they did nothing wrong because they're the Department of Justice. Now here,
I use it so much for work, so...
From our friend Tristan Levitt.
Generally the fastest way between here and Cleveland, even though I'm only going
together the Empower Oversight,
a third of the way to Cleveland.
Body that was representing the IRS whistleblowers. You remember that story? And so he's saying, by the way, they got spied on too. According to the OIG report, that explains how the DOJ accessed records from congresspeople and 43 staffers, including Jason Foster and Kash Patel. This needs to spark major reforms, okay? They're not supposed to be investigating and commandeering information from a co-equal branch of government, but that's exactly what they're doing. So here's what this report says. Here's a review of the DOJ's issuance of compulsory process.
A bunch of them in West Virginia, but they're all in the same system. The ones in Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania are the same too. Actually, that's where I got my account through, was Pennsylvania.
You can just amplify it by about 100.
Because they use the plate readers in Pennsylvania. You don't use tickets.
Writing this report about themselves, so it's much worse. Now here is the executive summary in the background. It says it's a 96-pager with some of the highlights here. But here's the summary.
Believe me, I know about ankle pain, Eggsy. I had to have my right ankle reconstructed.
In the spring and summer of 2017. Had different
when I was in the Army,
organizations like CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, they were publishing articles containing classified information.
There's still hardware in there.
Top secret and sensitive compartmented information. Okay, media publishing top secret info. In May and June, multiple news outlets reported that the DOJ issued compulsory process to get the records of the media. Okay, those are subpoenas. So we want your records, and we're going to get them. Why? They said, we're going to identify who leaked this info. Now, the department's use of compulsory process was an encroachment on the news. They're allowed to publish that crap.
Oh, that sucks.
Concerns also were raised about the department's use of non-disclosure orders. Okay, so the DOJ...
Man, that's a bad spot.
...prevent the reporters and the news people from learning about the subpoena.
I don't have any other. I got shoulder issues, lower back issues, but nothing in that area.
So we are going to seize your records and we're going to make the court order you to not know about it. And if you do know
that
about
would be
it,
aggravating.
to not disclose it and even challenge the process. Now, concerns also were expressed that these orders impeded their ability to report on the orders. I mean, we can't even talk about your gag of us, thereby hindering public scrutiny of the government's activities. In addition, the news media was troubled by their lack of notice. And this was happening in 14, because in 2014 and 15, Obama was doing something similarly, and they changed their rules to favor notice and to warn people before they go comment on their emails. Then on May 21st, 2021, Joe Biden stated that the practice of subpoenaing news media records, he said it was wrong. Simply wrong. And he's not going to allow it. The department is no longer going to seek any compulsory legal process for the news media. But then, right after they made that change, the news media reported that the department used compulsory process to get records of members of Congress, oh my gosh, and congressional staffers in connection with unauthorized disclosure of classified information.
Man,
the Biden
signal bottomed out for a while there. It's back
spying
down.
on Congress. In response to this reporting, members of Congress expressed concerns that their records had been obtained for political reasons. And the compulsory process violated separation of powers. Similar to their criticism, they also voiced concerns
In the Green Springs.
about the use of NDOs to prohibit communication service providers from even disclosing the existence of the process, okay? So our Congress is so pathetic. I gotta tell you, man, every time we read one of these letters, it's just like, how badly do they want to be abused? The DOJ was...
Army only gave me a 15%.
emails. And then going through a process to hide that from you. And our Congress people still sit around like morons and talk about whether Kash Patel is going to be good at the FBI, whether Pam Bondi is going to be good at the DOJ. On June 11th, the DOJ, Office of Inspector General, so
I'm on the clock,
these
so
offices that investigate themselves. Okay, great. They initiated a review.
I'll go on the clock as soon as I take off.
This process and what happened here. And so we did that. This report summarizes the results of our review and how the DOJ used subpoenas and compulsory process, right? These are not even like public subpoenas. There's like secret letters to the courts to get records from members of Congress, congressional staffers, members of the news media in 4 criminal investigations into disclosure of classified documents. The department did not charge anyone in these investigations with unauthorized disclosure, and all 4 investigations are now closed, but not before they stole their records. Now, as described in this report, we make several findings about the department's use of these compulsory processes. With respect to members of Congress and congressional staff, which are the focus of Chapter 2, we found that the department issued compulsory process for the non-content communications of 2 members of Congress. Who are they? 43 individuals who were congressional staffers at the time, and both members were Democrats. And of the 43 congressional staffers, 21 worked for Democrat members of Congress, while 20 worked for Republicans. And by the way, I don't think the FBI only goes out.
Got to do it to survive in this world,
Democrats,
this economy anyway.
I mean, I think that's probably
There's
why
a New York plate.
the Democrats are wrapped around their thumbs, is because they've got them under their control. Now, all of the members and staffers whose records were sought became aware of the classified information in connection with their congressional responsibilities. For most of the staffers, the basis of including them in the possible leakers was that the U.S. intelligence community determined that they had been provided access to this information.
Trying to figure out what I want to get at the exit.
To target these people. They've already had lawful access to this, so the decision to issue compulsory process was based on close proximity that they were enabled to have. Now, during the relevant time frame of this review, the department did not have a policy that expressly or clearly addressed the use of process to get this info from members of Congress, and the policy did not require any supervision at all, so they could do whatever they wanted, because they're the FBI. Now, the department's decision to compel the production of this non-content communications implicated the constitutional rights and authorities of congresspeople. Although members of Congress are not immune from prosecution from criminal conduct, remember that, Liz Cheney, including the unauthorized disclosure of classified info. And we did not find any evidence of retaliatory or political motivation by the career prosecutors who issued these processes. We believe that this process, based solely on the fact that they're close to the information, is chilling Congress's ability to conduct oversight. It exposes congressional officials to having their records reviewed by the department because they were doing their jobs. You say there's an inappropriate inference by the executive branch, but they were doing their job. You have no right to investigate them for doing their job. Moreover, even non-content communications, which is just like the metadata, right? What, like, did you send text messages at this time? Not what's in the text messages at that time.
I don't know.
They can reveal sensitive communications of Congress and whistleblowers and other interest groups.
Thanks, Matt. What up, buddy?
No right to do it. We are also determined that the department got 40 of these non-disclosure orders related to the compulsory process that was issued for members of Congress.
I don't do this for clicks and likes. I do this for conversation.
4 years of spying. The applications filed with the courts relied on general assertions about the need for non-disclosure rather than on case-specific justifications. So they just said, well, we're just scared about, stupid things like the administration of justice. And so we have to do whatever we want in order to prevent bad things from happening. And what does the court say? Oh, of course, we trust you because you're government prosecutors. So therefore, whatever you want. Department policy permits prosecutors to make boilerplate statements and applications. However, it says they should have specific facts that are relevant to the review. The renewal applications included in this investigation did not have anything new.
Truck's hauling ass, man.
Assertions about the need for non-disclosure, and so it was just a copy and paste recitation as they always do. In November of 2023, the department substantially revised its policy on this after there were complaints. The revised policy also stated that they should, not shall, should, which is discretionary, notify when they were making these decisions.
Sometimes I wish I lived like my wife does, though, in a bubble. She doesn't know anything about what's going on in the world unless I tell her.
Whether members of Congress should be.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Things are processed. Now, after reviewing a draft of this report, the department revised their policies again. Okay, so this happens every time. I don't care if the DOJ revised their policies. They made the policies in the first place to be illegal. So just because they changed them because somebody complained doesn't mean that the original illegality goes without scrutiny.
I don't watch mainstream media at all.
Policy now
I see clips of it on the podcasts I watch. That's about it.
The revised policy makes explicit.
I've given up on all those places a long time ago.
Anything related to this, you must. Okay, see how it went from.
That sounds delicious.
They're not morons. They know what that word means. That's why they wrote it. Oh, you should notify. Should. What if I don't want to? Well, you don't have to. Should, but you don't have to. So that sounds good.
What's it going to be called now?
So okay, maybe we'll leave it discretionary, right? Then they change
52nd state.
Now you must file.
Canada's the 51st.
But the people who wrote this word in there, they knew what they were doing. These are lawyers. They work for the DOJ. They know exactly what they're doing. So the people responsible for this little policy that resulted in Congress people being spied upon, there should be repercussions for that. Hopefully we know who their names are. At the same time, the department also revised the urgent reports policy to explicitly add investigations and other things. And so you got to file this stuff with the court. Now, our review also observed that while some of the department's former and current news media policies exhaust all reasonable avenues to obtain the information through other means, we recommend that they consider where there are circumstances. Like, can you just default and just say, give us your emails, or should you have to go try to investigate it otherwise? They don't. They just go right to the emails because they can. With respect to compulsory process to obtain communication, members of the news media, The department has emphasized the need to ensure the highest level of oversight. However, in the 3 investigations that we looked at, we found that the department complied with some, but not all of the applicable provisions of their news media policy. We found that the department failed to convene the review committee to consider the process. They did not obtain the required director certification from the Director of National Intelligence. So it says you must do this, and they don't. And we were unable to confirm whether the DNI certification it obtained in another case was provided to the AG before he even authorized.
Well, I think I get the same amount of light.
Nobody's actually checked.
What sucks is generally
And the
it's
department
dark
did not get the AG's express
when I get up and it's dark when I go to bed.
Other compulsory processes.
So-
So given the important interest here, we were troubled that these failures occurred, particularly given that only a
Think
few
what, after
years
the
had elapsed
21st, they'll start getting
since the
longer
department
again.
substantially overhauled its news media policies after their criticisms. Having once again reviewed it, they must make every effort to ensure exacting compliance with this new policy in the future. They know what they're doing. I'm so tired of this. It's like our government bureaucrats always default to we're just incompetent and we didn't know any better. No, you guys knew better. You knew exactly what we were doing. And you were spying on the news media. Where's the Washington Post?
Hey,
CNN,
Gregory.
and New York Times coming out and screaming at them about this. Here's the full report. The FBI did take and store invent records. According to the information the FBI gave us,
I do both.
the FBI retains the redacted.
No, it's Yule, it's not solstice, but yeah.
Washington
We celebrate the winter solstice, so
told us they got a digital copy of some of the records of the Washington
Christmas
Post,
is a
also stored
pagan,
in the United States.
originally pagan holiday.
And
Almost all
copies
Christian
of this
holidays are
and this
stolen from us heathens.
all locked in a filing cabinet.
Well, it looks like
The
some
FBI
fog
told us
over that
that
field
Blank
there
and Blank
already
obtained
setting
the
in.
records of Blank, and so obtained those from the Washington Post too. We got records of the news media. Well, let's look at Congress. Then they went after Congress and congressional staffers. Although federal law does not recognize a reporter's privilege, the department has imposed strictures
Yeah,
on
yeah,
itself
like you all.
that they then violated. They had a news media policy, and then they promulgated new.
All right, let's see what we're going to eat.
They conducted oversight
It's got to be something
into Congress.
light though,
Exercising
because
its oversight authority,
I might just
Congress
grab
has the right
something
to
more on the way
investigate
home.
the executive branch. That's their oversight
I
authority.
might just skip it.
Now they interviewed 24
Get this
witnesses.
shit done.
They talked to people from the New York Times and Washington Post.
Get outta here.
Places,
I
and
grab something on the way
structure
back.
of the report, as you can see, is quite long, and so I think we put the highlights on it. I wanted to see what was happening here with Congress. But
I
our
worship
disgusting
Odin. I don't
DOJ
worship Odin. I don't worship any of those gods.
They use non-disclosure orders.
I gain energy
so
from
that
them
you
and
wouldn't know
wisdom
they were spying
from my
on you
ancestors and
with
the gods.
Washington Post. And now, because they're not doing it anymore, they're going to say that their policies have changed.
I grew up Catholic, so.
Monster report here. Members of the news media got commandeered, and we'll let you read the rest of it on your
Come on.
conference.
Okay, geez, it took forever for it to say approved.
Office of Inspector General.
Biden, hell yeah.
Spying on people like Cash Patel, spying on people like Jason Foster, who are representing whistleblowers, and rooting out corruption in America. So we'll keep our eye on it. Make sure you're following Tristan Levitt and the guys at Empower Oversight. He's at Tristan Levitt on there. Jason Foster, both doing
I
great.
grew up Catholic and then
Shout out
was
to our
was
whistleblowers.
shown my ancestry.
Sorry you guys got spied on, Jason. Not cool of them to do that.
My dad did right before he passed.
Cash Patel's going to be coming in soon. Maybe he'll find out who did the spying. All right, so speaking of Cash, let's turn our attention
Hey, someone.
to the FBI. FBI Director Wray going to be resigning soon. So long, bucko. He doesn't want to get fired by Trump, and so he's going to be holding a town hall, some people say as soon as tomorrow, that is going to lead to his resignation. Here is the breaking news from Kerry Pickett at the Washington
Man,
Times.
this fog is setting
Says
in.
Wray plans to resign
Could see it in the
on
woods.
for Inauguration Day. We've now learned.
Off to the side there.
Said Mr. Wray is calling it quits because he doesn't want to get fired by Trump, according to sources inside the Bureau who are familiar with the
There you go.
director's thinking.
That
He's
sounds
gonna
more
be
accurate
gone
there,
at the
Eggsy.
inauguration, on or before
Yeah, honor the traditions.
is what they say. Now, I also came across this from Stephen Friend, who is a former FBI agent and has left the dark side, an FBI whistleblower. Shout out to
I still go to mass a couple times a year. I mean, I have godchildren, so
Town hall tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
I'll drink the wine and
resign like a coward.
and eat the bread.
Cash Patel is the man we need to save the FBI. Here's what came down. New date. How to watch Director Ray's town hall on December 11th if you're an FBI agent. As he mentioned to special agents,
I'm not seeing someone in the chat for some reason. It's not her chat's not popping up.
In order to maximize participation as we get closer to the holidays, Director Ray will speak
Where
to all
Prism gets
FBI
weird sometimes. It doesn't show me everybody's chat.
employees from the Webster Room at FBI headquarters on Wednesday, December 11th, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Ugh, man.
You have several options.
Made the
to
mistake
watch.
of Burger King yesterday. That was horrible.
You can just watch on FBI TV. At your FBI Net workstation via FBI TV. They have their own YouTube channel. Use the event-specific link found in the FBI Net version of this email. If you have any technical difficulties,
Is the Harbor Freight?
Contact the audio
What kind of food they got?
center so we can help an FBI agent.
I think I'll just get a French fry and a Coke. And McDougal's here.
Idiots can't figure it out. Call tech support. All right, so that's Stephen Fred. All right, now, meanwhile, here's Christopher Wray. Following Mr. Ray's departure, Paul
I can hear it, but I'm not seeing it on my stream chat.
Acting director, and appoint an acting
My
deputy
earpiece.
director. Mr. Abate's original plan was to stay until May or June.
Yeah,
so he could help with the
269.
transition. But Cash
You go,
Patel
Walmart gas.
is gonna come in hot. He's meeting with Republican senators, and we're going to talk about that here coming up very soon. But Cash Patel, Mr. Trump's pick, is going to be leading.
Get a
Chuck
stop and
Grassley
order on the
sent
app here.
A letter yesterday. We read through it. It was amazing. He obliterated FBI Director Ray. Said, for the good of the country, Chris, it's time for you to move on. Ron Johnson has also been dunking on him. The FBI responded. They said, the FBI has repeatedly demonstrated our commitment to responding to congressional oversight, no you haven't, liars, and being transparent with the American people, no you haven't. Director Ray and Abate have taken strong actions towards achieving accountability in the areas mentioned in the letter, and remain committed to sharing information about the
Oh shit, they got the McRib.
environment facing our nation.
Oh hell, we got that McRib.
All right, so that is what the Washington Times is reporting. Now, speaking of Paul Abate, the deputy director, you can see he got a letter as well from Senator Tom Tillis, who is unhappy with him. And he's going to be filling in after Christopher Wray resigns, which may come as soon as tomorrow. He posted this on a letter to him from the Senate. Tom Tillis out of North Carolina says, all right, dear Deputy Director Abate.
Got a free fry with an order of a large Coke.
About reports that Cash Patel was targeted.
I love the app.
In an Iranian-backed cyber attack. For an Iranian-backed group who have targeted the potential.
Maybe on the way home I'll get the McRib.
Also alarming is the speed at which
Yes.
sensitive and potentially classified information
CZ65.
spread to the news. How did they all know that? NBC News specifically reported that two senior law enforcement officials confirmed information about the cyber attack to the news outlet. Who the heck are those people? Two sources also relayed the information to CNN and CBS.
He had to spell Norm.
To British BBC. As you know, it is imperative that the FBI and other intelligence agencies maintain confidentiality to ensure the American people are safe from enemies at home and abroad, unless they want to leak that stuff because they have a narrative to create. The release of this information raises major national security and personal safety concerns. And so, FBI, to help better understand how much sensitive information was disclosed in a potentially unauthorized manner to the public, I asked you to respond to these questions by December 20th. Did any employee of the FBI disclose information regarding the cyber attack on Patel to the news media? Never going to get that answer. Yeah, these guys did. They're leakers. Did any employee of the FBI disclose information to a third party who would have had the opportunity to pass that information on to the media? Not getting that answer. Is any of the information disclosed to the media about the cyber attack deemed classified? And would an unauthorized disclosure of that classified information be a violation of federal law? That's why, yeah, that's exactly why they're not going to answer this question or this question, because the answer to this question is yes, right? So they're not going to say, yeah, we committed federal crimes. Is any of the information disclosed to the media about the cyber attack not appropriate for public release, even under your guidelines, even if it's not classified? And would that be unauthorized? Would that also be illegal? If the information is considered classified or not appropriate for public release, and its disclosure to the public is a violation of federal law or FBI procedures, will the FBI conduct an investigation to find the source? Thank you for your prompt attention to this serious matter. I look forward
Later,
to
Claiborne.
your friend, Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina. Yeah, all right, so Christopher Wray is going to resign. All of these letters are going to go into the shred bin, and he's not going to answer anything. So the all-hands meeting is happening tomorrow. We'll see what Ray says there. We'll see if he resigns, hopefully. Shifty Shift, pencil neck from California, who got sworn in as a senator because he's replacing the other one early. He's in early.
I like Kroger chicken better.
He doesn't think the FBI should investigate members of the January 6th Select Committee.
Hey, Jody.
Here's Shifty.
I don't think the incoming president should be threatening his political opponents with jail time. That's not the kind of talk we should hear from a president in a democracy. Nor do I think that a pardon
Good thing this ain't a democracy.
Of the January 6th committee. We're proud of the work we did in that committee. It was a fundamental oversight obligation to investigate the first attempt to interfere with a peaceful transfer of power in our history. Many of you were here in this building during that violent attack. And we're proud of the work we did to expose what went into that once-in-history effort to interfere with the transition of power.
Okay, you lied a long time before that, Shifty, way before January 6th. You were lying for a long time. And you were on TV screaming that Trump should be indicted.
And that you have
Trump should
evidence.
face prosecution for colluding with Putin back in 2018 when you were smearing him on Russia collusion. So now the actual criminals are going to be investigated for manipulating evidence, for obstructing justice, for abusing public office, for creating a conspiracy against rights, and more. And so you're in trouble, buddy. And now the new FBI will be investigating you. And as we talked about, just because you're a congressperson or a senator or a House representative, it doesn't mean you have absolute immunity. Shifty. Not even the president has absolute immunity there, buddy. So maybe it's time to challenge congressional immunity, and we can see.
Yeah, we might get some snow tonight.
In furtherance of your oversight, right? You say these are all.
Most of it's going to be up in Michigan.
So I can't.
They're saying maybe an inch.
Maybe we should test
here. The lakes.
We should investigate
a lot of lake effect up in Michigan.
As well, and Shifty can feel what it feels like. Now we're going to come back to Kash Patel here in a minute because he was meeting around with everybody in Congress
shit.
today. But I wanted
This
to
is crazy,
flag this
man. I just
for
want to
your
fry and a
attention.
drink.
We have our good friend Margot Cleveland here, who does amazing reporting, and she's over at the Federalist and everywhere. She's awesome. Be sure you follow her. In fact, I'm going to repost this at the top of my timeline so it's easy for you. But here, breaking, she said. We've talked a lot about this organization called the Global Engagement Center. Remember the GEC? This was the little operation that was stood up to censor Americans utilizing the State Department to interfere in foreign disinfo. We all got censored. This was part of the operation that was funneling information to the FBI, and the FBI would then put pressure on the social media companies to censor people. And we got caught up in that. We got multiple strikes, demonetization after J6, all the things. In my opinion, because of these people. So here's what she says. They, just like Christopher Wray, are cutting, running, and hiding like little whiny cowards. State Department is telling Congress that they are ending, they're shuttering the Global Engagement Center. It's going away. Voluntarily wrapping it up. Reassigning all the employees. Now this came out from a lawsuit that the Daily Wire was leading. And you can see it was Daily Wire versus the United States government. This is a case development there. It says, here, the United States Department of State is now filing this notice of a case development, Your Honor. Daily Wire is suing us because the Daily Wire got censored by them and maligned by them. So where they say, guess what? You want to sue us? We'll just close our whole agency. Can't sue us anymore. Defendants respectfully filed this notice to inform the court
closer to you than me.
that it's going to occur on December 23rd. Substantially likely to occur. Guess what? Termination of the Global Engagement Center with implications for this case. It's a cover-up, if you can't tell. They don't want Trump's organization, Trump admins, to get their hands on this organization. So they're just closing it up. It's closed. This lawsuit challenges programs administered by the Global Engagement Center. Our statutory authority contains a sunset provision, which means that if Congress doesn't act, we're going to terminate 2 weeks from today, right? On December 23rd, they're closing. That's according to the law, they say. The center shall terminate on a date that is 8 years after the date of enactment of this. Now, Congress has not extended the termination, and it's our understanding that reauthorization is unlikely. And so, consistent with the statutory requirements, the department transmitted a notification to Congress regarding its plan for the forthcoming termination of the GEC. And they set it up right under law, so it would terminate right before the next president got a hand of it, got a hold of it. Like, all by design. They were thinking this through when they set it up in the first place. The department transmitted a notification to Congress saying that we plan to realign the center's staff and funding to other department offices and bureaus for foreign information manipulation. Okay, so they're just going to go elsewhere. And interference activities in the event that the termination is not extended. And the Department of State, Foreign Operations, and related programs, as carried forward under the law, says by continuing appropriations of our rules. We submit this notice to provide the court prompt and direct notice of these developments.
Hey, R&R.
So that defendants are conferring about
Been a while. Good to see you.
Of this litigation. What does this mean? So, okay, Daily Wire, do you still want to sue us since we don't exist anymore? They create these little government bodies that wreck everybody's rights, commandeer everybody's constitutional rights, and then as soon as time is up, they fold up and run away like cowards, because that's what they are. Now, meanwhile, people are coming in to reform the FBI and the DOJ. Chuck Grassley shared that he met with Kash Patel, shaking hands over there.
Been busy? Good for you.
Sheriff is in town. Says reform is badly needed at the FBI. It's time to shake.
Busy's better than bored, I guess.
Kash. And he's also there meeting with Senator Tuberville.
Oh, shit.
Kash says, Senator Tuberville is a good friend that loves Alabama and supports law enforcement. It was outstanding meeting with him and hearing his thoughts on FBI reform. So there's Kash. And
Yeah, generally that's how I do it anymore.
Football in that one painting. There's a little bit more room for some players over here. So
Say hello, all.
anyways, that's what's happening there. So Kash Patel's making the rounds. He also met with Mike Lee. Thrilled that Kash Patel is going to bring transparency, accountability, and a strong
good. Good to hear that.
As our next director of the FBI. Looking forward to his swift confirmation. So there's Mike Lee, looking good with Kash. Got the handshake photo. Nice handshake, gentlemen. Nice grip there. Good job. That's an important handshake to get. Got to get that one good. And he also met with Senator Mullen. And here's what Senator Mullen said. It says, President Trump's nominee, Kash Patel, will be a game changer for the FBI, and he has my full support. So here's Kash.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kash, getting ready to kick off this whole nomination process.
Nice.
You excited about it?
I'm very excited, sir.
One thing that we have to do is we got to reform the FBI. Not that necessarily the agents in the field, man, they do a phenomenal job. But what's going on in the 7th floor, the Hoover building? They weaponize the FBI. And a guy to clean that up and get the FBI back focused on doing their job, and that's to keep Americans safe and look out for American interests, that's Kash. Kash, you got anything you want to say?
Senator, I'm humbled and honored by your support. I look forward to the advice and consent process, terms of trust and confidence of your colleagues, and this work truth and transparency. I almost like to hit everything.
That was like perfect.
Thank you.
Good guys.
Too.
Good to see you all.
It was good. It was a nice statement. He knows what he's there for, and we're excited to see Kash Patel make its way into power. And so that, my friends, is going to be
All right, let's get to this
early show, which you can tell I got some
detox center and get some internet fixed if we can. This may be quick, or it may take a long time. We'll see.
Let's see what you have to say about all this. If you're just joining us, we have 3 good segments on today. We talked about the manifesto from Luigi that's now been released. We read through the full thing. It's very short. It's about 1 paragraph. Went through the latest highlights on what he is doing now, where he's being transported. And we also saw that he lashed
Of course
out
not.
at the press, saying that this is an insult to the American intelligence.
Oh, medium fries, still plenty though.
Then in our second segment, we talked about
And they are hot.
DOJ is spying
That's a good thing.
on congresspeople and staffers, including people
I wish they still cooked them in tallow.
Of Empower Oversight. So more disgusting behavior from the DOJ, which will be investigating themselves, finding they did nothing wrong, and then leaving. Then Trump can come in and decide what to do. And then lastly, Christopher Wray is going to be resigning, and Cash Patel is going to be coming in hot. We're excited to see that change happen. But now, my friends, let's hear from you. Let's see what you have to say all about this. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for sending in these donos and this support. Thanks for being members. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for inviting somebody you know or love to come over here and check out our channel. We appreciate it. And thanks for all the things. We've got a couple of comments that came in. Hey, Revco's here. Thank you, Revco. Says bad health, bad food, lack of physical activity, and a culture that glorifies unhealthy lifestyles and choices. Go figure why we have problems. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that compounds over the years. Yeah, I think that us is all right. Lack of physical activity, culture that glorifies unhealthy lifestyle. It's definitely the phones. There's definitely social media stuff that's happening there. But you're right. Unhealthy lifestyle is almost glamorized. Yeah, it's a lot of problems. Thank you, Revco, for that one.
Yeah.
And we got some other comments and donos in the house, my friends. Thank you, Revco. And let's see who else is here.
Well, if Kennedy does anything, it'll be nice for it to go. If it was to go back to that, I'll pay more for
That's an interesting taco.
fries cooked in tallow.
Esther Shugart says, assassinations and attempted assassinations. What's up in Pennsylvania? Good question. Well, the other one was in Florida. The other
Look at the fog's coming in.
what's going on over there. Thank you, Esther. Thanks for
It's getting foggy out.
Bob White says CAD is computer-aided design. Ah! Yeah, I was thinking of, in criminal law, we call it computer-aided dispatch. Get all these records. Like the computer will print out a bunch of stuff. Initially part of the PC software called AutoCAD, used originally with a large electronic drawing tablet and electronic pen. I knew that. Computer-aided design, I knew that. I used to design swimming pools on a similar system, but it wasn't AutoCAD, which was way too advanced. I just needed like basic stuff. And I would design swimming pools in the person's backyard. So, okay, Elena Tuesday. What's up, Elena? Elena, aka Neely's in the house. Bring it in, members. Thank you, Elena. Dirt Cheap is here. Jim Justus, Geoff, Jeff Smith, and Devin McLevy, and Lesko Gadsden. Lesko Gadsden in the house. Thank you for the new members, Elena.
Ammonia leak.
Says, LOL, Trump was in Pennsylvania. The CEO was in New York. Great show. Yeah, exactly. But he was found in Pennsylvania. So what are they doing having a bunch of assassins in Pennsylvania? Your point stands. Your point definitely stands. Thank you, Esther. We got one old guy's opinion says, is this Luigi the same family as the musicians who can play flugelhorn, trumpet, Fender Rhodes, electric piano? Charles Frank Chuck Mangione? I don't know about that. Yeah, the family owns, I think, has a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know what they own or what, but a lot of money. So the idea that this guy was like broke and couldn't get approved for insurance procedure, insurance won't cover procedure, I don't think that's right. GDL says, sounds like some movie directors are hired to create some roles. That could be a thing. GDL. Like the J6 committee, you mean? Elena Neely, bringing in 5 more. Thank you. Carmen, Curtis Caruth, Carlos Land Gaeta, Shetty Mo, and Steve Guardian. Gifted memos courtesy of Elena. And new memos, grab the screen from this morning because we had another good stream this morning. GDL says, maybe for laughs and giggles, like Hunter's investigation.
Yeah, my son spent most of the summer in Oregon fighting fires. My youngest
Hunter's
son.
was mostly a waste of time because they knew that he was going to get pardoned anyway, so it was all just kind of sport. Is that what you're saying? Rob White says, could the DOJ have evidence to convict Liz Cheney? I think so, yeah. Why is public corruption, why would public corruption be protected and immune conduct for Congress? I don't think it would. Congress people don't have absolute immunity. You can't, like, for example, Menendez, right? He got prosecuted for bribery. And the other guy, the other Republican, got thrown out of Congress. He resigned or whatever. But you can charge them with crimes. What did Liz Cheney do that was criminal? Well, she might have obstructed evidence or interfered with and tampered with witnesses. And all of those could have been done for congressional purposes, but she was doing that outside of the congressional session. And the conversations, I would say, were illegal. So she should be investigated, at least probable cause for that, because she knew he was represented, and she was trying to manipulate Cassidy Hutchinson's collaborator's testimony, which would be obstruction of justice, and her trying to fake evidence. So she should be investigated. One old guy's opinion says authoritarian, totalitarians.
I agree. I just wish he would get his shit together when he's over here. When he's at home.
Yeah, Republicans, in many instances, are not much different than Democrats. Not all of them. But
He didn't even bother coming Sunday. Just my oldest and his fiance.
how far apart are Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer? Using executive branch.
Promised me all week he would be there,
and
then blew us off.
Sin against the almighty false God, bow down to worship its power. Well, yeah, the Democrats
He just needs to get his shit together or stay out there.
Not happening. Hey, Michelle Yenyo Skinner. What's up, Michelle? Thanks for becoming a member. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Hey, members, by the way, we're going to be early tomorrow, 7:30 in the morning, my time, 9:30 Eastern time for the member stream tomorrow.
That's so early.
That is the plan. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Uncle Bozy says, was it a policy or a guideline? There is a difference. It sounds like a policy now, but I bet it was a guideline before. Yeah, and those are important distinctions. Sometimes you want to pass a policy so that you can apply. Other times it's guidelines, but you must. Good stuff. Hey, see the veil. It says, Rob, on part of an email, I have as early as an email as a watching the watchers. Can you just sign the letter? I wrote it up here for you. Just sign this. Here, you're done. Just sign it. Right here. I'll write it. No, I have a lot of preparation to do, you know? A lot of preparation to do. Don't mind the noise coming out of my office. Right? You know that's happening. Schlista says, I'm surprised Ray doesn't resign now so Biden can appoint some replacement. And the rhinos and the Democrats will say Trump has no reason to fire the new guy or gal. Hilarious. See if they
I'll never give up on him. I'm just disappointed.
Us North Carolina MAGA voters than he is of the FBI. Tillis is a major rhino.
But the love doesn't change.
That's good.
I love him no matter what.
Yeah, I'm not there in North Carolina, so I don't
Even
know
if he
seemed pretty
was a serial killer.
One old guy says, I love the way this letter had your friend in it. Well, I add that just to be ultra clear. All right, that's how I like to end my emails. Just say, oh, your friend Rob, your friend Rob, your friend Rob. And it's funnier when we pretend like our government officials are calling each other friends. Hey, Shifty.
Getting a little foggy here.
Says one old guy. Chubby says, it sure sounds like censured Schiff needs to be censured for lying again after those comments. Right, he does. He should be censured at least once a year. Uncle Bozy, little known fact, before he went into politics, Adam Schiff worked as a model for painters. And this is the painting called The Scream by Edvard Munch. And I really enjoy this painting because it's so horrifying. There's many different versions of it. And I enjoy the painting because I think it really conveys horror in a way that a lot of other chaos and horror in a way that a lot of other artists and paintings don't. But yeah, it does look like Schiff, although that neck is a little bit too long there, too short there. The watermelon head is pretty good, shifty proportions, but the neck's a little bit too short. A little too short. You want to be able to write the whole word censured out there on his neck. But it's a good start. I do appreciate it. I like the painting. Thank you for that. Uncle Bozy. Hey, here's one. Shifty is a leaker too, from Cliff Norman. We need a reckoning. Yeah, Shifty, we got censured for it because he's such a partisan hack, and there should be more coming for him. We'll see if that happens. Cheryl says, good luck with the move. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, it's going to be a whirlwind here over these next few weeks, my friends. I don't think I mentioned it here, but we're moving. We're moving on Sunday. So this week will be the last week here in this studio, and then next week we're going to AmFest. We have a booth in Media Row at AmFest that's going to be taking place December 19th through the 22nd at the Phoenix Convention Center. And so next week's going to be a little bit. Next week's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be live streaming like all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, Midwest's a good guy, man.
So thank you for that, Cheryl. Hey, Uncle Bozy says, no, not all field agents are good. Plenty of rot down the ranks. The Steve friends in the agency are far and few between, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Uncle Bozy. It's like, I get tired of hearing that. Well, it's like only the people at the top are bad. Everyone else is good. Oh, really? Was Christopher Wray doing the raids on J6ers or Catholics or parents who were showing up at people's schools? No. Christopher Wray wasn't doing it. All of the lower agents were, all right? And they do it all the time. They follow orders like good little lapdogs for the FBI. So I don't want to hear.
There you go, Rob. Tell them.
FBI agents out there.
All right, guys.
The ones who have left. Steve Friend has left.
Signal gets bad when I drive down into the little... where the springs are down here, so I'm gonna let you guys go.
Are not going to be fixed until we can have the whistle blown on the
oh shit! I drove right past
the FBI and the DOJ.
Oh no, I didn't.
Targeting the whistleblowers.
Okay.
Like the agencies have
I'll
to
see you guys later.
Self-reflection and self-improvement.
I'll fire it up on the way home.
Arena at all.
Peace.
And if they're outnumbered, like if the boneheads at the top are outnumbered.